Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Casper Network, aka CSPR. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's talk about a few things. So obviously a big thing around this market right now is really just kind of trying to find the biggest gems. Like, we don't really care about selling things, to be completely honest with you guys. And I think that anyone that's in this space and has been around this space for a while know that, like, now is not the time to be looking at, hey, let me just sell these coins. Like, there's no real major point for me to be selling. Of course, everyone's situation is completely different, but as I look at Casper today, sitting at sub $500 million in market cap, I just questioned to myself, like, do people realize the opportunity in front of them? I mean, even at a $500 million market cap, a 10x would be $5 billion. A 20x would be $10 billion, just to put that into perspective real quick. So as we really kind of look at Casper today, I do think that this is a massive opportunity, which obviously you guys know because I've been making videos on Casper, pretty much repeating myself, if you will, on that subject, that Casper is a major opportunity. Outside of this, one thing that gets brought up quite a bit is comparisons, right? Like, we kind of compare Casper to this coin, that coin. One of the biggest ones is obviously ADA. ADA has been a big one that we've been comparing Casper to for a while, and I think that's for good measure, right? Like, when we really kind of look at Casper and ADA, we look at the potential that Casper could really kind of outreach to. ADA, for the longest time, and let me remove this comparison. When we go back to ADA's chart, here you guys have ADA. So ADA kind of had a very similar move in the market where, it had this massive spike up back in 2017, 2018 to about $1.20. Then it just went sideways into a massive downtrend all the way into March of 2020. And then it erupted out of nowhere to a massive all-time high of nearly $3. Now, the difference here is what the market cap of ADA was at the all-time high versus what the market cap of Casper would be if we achieved the same market cap. What's interesting, though, is that ADA still has nearly a roughly $10 billion market cap. So if you think about that, like I've said, going back to, Casper, a $10 billion market cap would be a very significant move for Casper right now. And I think that a lot of people would say, wow, I would actually take Casper at a $10 billion market cap right now and sell a significant amount, because at that point we made a significant amount of profit. But when we compare ADA to Casper, and when we compare any of these coins to Casper, like Solana or even Dogecoin, what I really come to a conclusion about is anything in the space is possible, right? Like, these coins have done tremendous moves in the market, and a lot of them don't even actually, or I shouldn't say a lot of them, but some of them don't even have any major fundamentals behind them. It's just hype with zero substance. ADA, for the longest time, a lot of people have, there's a lot of controversy around ADA and its actual utility case and things like that. But beyond that, when we really kind of look at Casper, I've been addressing Casper's overall market for a while and the potential behind Casper. And it seems as though it's becoming a big trend over on Twitter as well, where a lot of people are actually talking about it and addressing where Casper could go. For example, shout out to Stock Jupiter, and also shout out to A_Western91 over on Twitter. So A Western actually put out this thread, and then Jupiter actually responded and quoted it and said, "This is true and could serve as a deja vu moment for ADA holders. No need to be a chain maximalist. Have exposure to quality assets with the potential for insane levels of return from bear market lows. Currently 3 cents with the potential of upwards of $3. And listen, even though I love Casper, I also diversify outside of Casper. I hold HBAR, XRP, QNT, Algorand, and a few other coins as well. But when we really kind of look at the potential here, it's significant. So first and foremost, a lot of people will say there's absolutely no way that Casper could do this. If Casper had the market cap of ADA at its all-time high, we would see a 270x from the current price. Some might scoff at this, but consider a few things. ADA has a circulating supply more than 3 times of Casper. Casper has never been through a bull run. Casper has much stronger fundamentals than ADA based on partnerships, utility, and enterprise adoption. Almost 75% of the Casper is being staked. ADA saw its price appreciation based on speculation alone, while Casper is on the verge of seeing large increases in network volume based on enterprise use cases and genuine network activity. Casper can boast for largest enterprise blockchain deployment in history with its IPv partnership. Casper is the only layer 1 blockchain to enable the debugging of live composable smart contracts on mainnet, upgradable smart contracts. Casper is incredibly poised for mass adoption by solving the adoption trilemma, providing enterprise-level security, scalability, and decentralization on the same blockchain protocol. The more this market matures, the more smart money enters in to invest. The market is moving away from being based on speculation to utility-driven. Smart money is looking to invest in high-quality digital assets with strong fundamentals like Casper. Casper has a ridiculously low market cap right now, considering everything this blockchain has to offer. The timing to enter is amazing. Current prices are near all-time lows, and even if we only see half of ADA's market cap, that is over a 100x on the investment side of things. Something to consider. Your money is hard-earned and should be invested wisely where your personal conviction lies. With that being said, I have strong convictions and confidence in Casper's future success. And listen, as we look at this, like, yeah, it could very well be the possibility of, you know, Casper doing a tremendous move like this. Anything is possible. I don't write anything off. Now, does that mean that I'm going to hold all my Casper until $8? No. Listen, you take profits. If you hit a 5x, a 10x, a 25x, a 50x, you better be taking profits on the way up, because you never know what could happen next. No matter how great an investment is in this space, you got to remember that this entire space is still technically speculation. So anything is possible. That's why we always keep a moon bag, though, because, hey, if it hits $8, for an example, and you have, I don't know, 50,000 Casper, for an example, that's a massive amount of money. So again, we always keep a moon bag just in case, but outside of this, we do see a few other things. So supply. Everyone is so concerned about the Casper supply. And I think this mainly comes from like PTSD with HBAR, if I'm being completely honest. Or maybe it's not. I don't know, right? But when we look at the supply of Casper, yeah, it doesn't have a max supply. It has 8% year over year. The total supply right now is 12 billion. And an individual from the community, actually, so his name is Nix Griffin, Nix Capital over on Twitter. Cowboy Casper actually quoted this and posted it. We do see this graph is made by Nix Griffin. Sums up Casper price action very well. Give him a follow if you found this useful. Love you all. Cowboy out. And here we have the circulating supply, the market cap, the Casper price, and the inflation rate. So first and foremost, let's actually talk about the inflation rate. So by year 10, the supply of Casper would be 22.4 billion. Let's actually think about that real quick. 22.4 billion. That is significantly low. When we compare that, let's go back to the cryptocurrencies list. Look at the circulating supply. And this is the top 100, by the way. Top 100. And I'm looking more so at the number here. Shiba Inu. $4.2 billion market cap right now. Obviously at the all-time highs, it was nearly $20 billion. Look at the supply. Ridiculous. All right. Beyond this, we have Dogecoin sitting at number 9. At the all-time highs, nearly a $100 billion market cap. Has an $8.6 billion market cap right now. 141 billion tokens. All right. Beyond that scope, there's also XRP. XRP has a pretty high supply, 53.3 billion. Again, significant. VeChain, 72.7 billion. ADA, 35.1 billion. HBAR, 33.5 billion almost. XLM, 27.8 billion. I mean, listen, the supply ratio for some of these coins is ridiculous versus what Casper has. And I'm not saying that like, hey, the supply is way too much on XRP. No, actually, the contrary. I made a tweet regarding the supply, which I will talk about here in a second. But when we look at the inflation rate, like it's significant to mention how much supply will be out there in year 5, year 10, and so forth, because the supply is really not a lot when you look at those inflationary numbers. And beyond that, look at the market cap and the Casper price potential. I mean, even at a $50 billion market cap, which yes, technically going off of this chart versus what we know about Casper right now, it's a little bit different, but it's not too different, right? if we're talking about some of these price valuations, I mean, we could very well see a Casper price anywhere between $5 to $10, which is actually wild to think about, but it's possible. I mean, I will gladly take $1 and a $2 Casper any day of the week. But if we do see any of those higher valuations, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how things look, because I do think that there could be a significant amount of hype behind Casper, especially with all of the substance that there is. But going off the supply alone, like the supply ratio on Casper for a utility gem is truly low. It really is. And, you know, I even said a lot of things over on Twitter around Casper and even HBAR, because we do see the argument around supply quite a bit. What I said was, one of the most overlooked gems in the space right now is Casper. Far too many don't realize the value and demand that comes from enterprise adoption. HBAR and Casper have been my two main enterprise bets for a very long time, and it's for good measure. The current market has everyone debating on if 10 billion plus tokens is too much supply. The big problem with the supply isn't if there is too much, but ultimately if there is enough. Mass enterprise adoption mixed with retail use accelerating will demand a large amount of the supply. The supply isn't the end-all be-all in this space. We get stuck thinking short-term and fail to see the long-term growth here. I've said that there will be future $1 trillion plus projects in this space. Many great projects will come and go, but the blue chips of tomorrow will survive. I look forward to seeing this space blossom into a much more mature asset class where the value behind the tech is finally realized. And ultimately speaking, like, listen, there is $1 trillion projects in this space. We're just waiting for, you know, the entire world outside of crypto to actually kind of catch up, because this space is still very well in its infancy. But I do think that Casper could be one of those blue chips, just like Hedera, just like XRP. I've talked about this many times in the past. Enterprise grade adoption as well is extremely overlooked. Like, a lot of people don't realize how much demand one enterprise name could bring. In fact, Hedera actually proved this. I mean, demand from the enterprise side of things could be very interesting, especially when you mix in retail adoption as well. And I also think that retail adoption could actually happen as a domino effect from enterprises tapping into specific networks and specific use cases. Beyond that, right, like as we look at Casper and as we look at a lot of these projects like Hedera, I remember during 2021, nobody even cared about HBAR. Now everyone cares about HBAR because a lot has happened since then. And I even remember then, and it's kind of interesting now, a lot of people thought that HBAR underperformed in the market. And for the most part, you would think that if you were late. This is also why we have such a great opportunity in front of us right now. If we actually look at HBAR did well over a 50x off of the lows. And it's actually a little bit of it's like a 54x, 55x or something like that off of the lows, right? When we're talking about Casper, right? Casper could do something very well like that, where it does, you know, a 50x, a 100x, a 2, like anything is possible here. But HBAR did a 50x return off of the lows, and everyone thought that it underperformed in the market, either because they were buying at the, you know, high level areas up here, or whatever, right? We don't know. But what's crazy about it is HBAR did that with no substance. When we're talking about the next market, like a lot of these tokens now have a lot more substance, and Casper is one that does have quite a bit of substance behind it. A lot of people think that it doesn't, but it does. I mean, a lot of what we have been seeing around Casper has been nonstop building, expanding, and also doing a ton of community engagement as well, which I personally love to see. When a project like Casper is extremely transparent, at the market cap that it is, with the potential behind it, I don't really care about what people are saying about, oh, it has no max supply, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. Like, I invest in the teams, right? And the team behind Casper has been extremely strong and vocal about what they want to do. And I also invest in the technology. Like, the tech stack behind Casper is extremely lucrative for enterprises. And we already know that enterprise adoption has been a spotlighted thing in the space, especially even when we talk about tokenization services. So I think that these projects like Casper, or even like Hedera and a few other ones, they're poised for major adoption and major growth. And I think that Casper has the potential to truly mimic some of these moves that a lot of these other tokens have made, including even ADA. Now, is it going to do a 200x plus move? We don't know, right? Anything is possible. I can make a prediction tomorrow that Casper is going to do a 200x move. Does that mean that it's going to happen? Not necessarily, right? But anything is possible. It all depends on how much money is really kind of flowing in the space at that time, and how much attention Casper actually does get. But in my opinion, Casper has a ton of listing opportunities on some major exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, and so many other ones. There's still a lot more adoption that could happen. There's a lot of partnerships that might be even in NDAs right now that could also happen. There's so much, and a large portion of the supply, over 70+%, is locked away in staking. That is huge to mention as well, because the supply is already so low. I mean, when things really kind of start to pick up, it's so hard to depict on what could actually happen. But in my opinion, I do believe that Casper could very well reach the $3 plus range, just like ADA did, and it could even go beyond that. But that's what gets me so excited about being a Casper holder. It's what also gets me excited about being very early in this market right now, just like previous cycles. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, so notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.